in to Nationwide at 5 on January 20 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus. Discover opportunities and build connections that shape your future under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Hear from Jamaica's Prime Minister, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Finance Minister Fable Williams, and more. Seats are limited, so register now at jamstockx.com or call 876-967-3271. That's the 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus. Tune in to Nationwide at 5, Tuesday, January 20, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Or catch our broadcast live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Keep your station on Nationwide 90.
Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Roby Ann Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
In Nationwide News at this hour, if it doesn't fit, then you must acquit.
Defense attorney Christopher Townsend tells jurors to reject what he called a broken and unreliable puzzle in Noel Maitland's murder trial.
The two senior government workers caught with 21 pounds of cocaine at airport have been charged.
Government wants $10 billion cap on the maximum amount held in the National Natural Disaster Reserve Fund removed.
But opposition leader Mark Golding says government cap of budgetary contribution to the fund is unsatisfactory.
Given the situation we're living in, environment and climatic conditions that we face, the prudent thing would be for the fund to be continually built up year by year.
In news from the rest of the world, Guyana's ministry orders probe of sex abuse allegations at police academy.
Europe to suspend approval of U.S. tariff deals.
In sports, pressure on West Indies players to perform in T20 clash against Afghanistan on Wednesday, with World Cup squad to be announced after the game.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, several eminent attorneys are calling for reforms to strengthen and modernize the jury system. But what of the people who served as jurors? We'll hear from former jurors.
From 6 to 8, we'll bring you live coverage from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel of the Jamaica Stock Exchange's 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference under the theme Capital Markets, Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience.
All these and more as we take you home on air, on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, RevoNews.ai, and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. This Tuesday afternoon, it's Tuesday, January 20, 2026.
The hour is brought to you by the KFC Value Menu. Grab a chicken box, famous bowl, small popcorn chicken, or crunch sandwich today with combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger licking good.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. If it doesn't fit, then you must acquit. That was the refrain from defense attorney Christopher Townsend on Tuesday in the Supreme Court. He urged jurors to reject what he called a broken and unreliable puzzle in the murder trial of Constable Noel Maitland. Townsend was addressing the jurors in the trial for the final time. More in this report. In a wide-ranging and ardent closing address, defense attorney Christopher Townsend reminded jurors that the burden of proof rests entirely on the prosecution. Townsend stressed that jurors must be sure of Maitland's guilt before convicting. He said, "You can possibly say, me not think him do it, but him know about it. That still means not guilty. The moment you have a doubt, you must resolve it in favor of the accused with a verdict of not guilty." He warned jurors to ignore news headlines, commentary, and social media opinions, urging them to decide the case only on the evidence presented in court. Referring to the Crown's jigsaw puzzle theory, Townsend told the jury, if the puzzle don't fit, you must acquit. Using a Jamaican analogy, he explained circumstantial evidence as a mongoose found in a sealed coop with chickens. All the chickens, he said, went missing, adding that in such a case, the circumstances leave only one conclusion. He argued that the prosecution had tried to lock the cage with more than 30 witnesses, but failed to prove that Donnelly Donaldson was ever confined in Maitland's apartment when she disappeared. Central to the defense was the evidence from Donaldson's friend, who testified that she spoke with Donnelly after 1 p.m. on July 12, 2022 and heard traffic. Townsend argued that means she was outside. The chicken left the coop. And if the chicken left the coop, the mongoose can't be responsible. He said the prosecution itself reinforced that point through cyber-forensic evidence showing Donnelly's phone connecting to a cell tower some 400 meters away from the apartment at 2:54 p.m. that day. Townsend told jurors that the Crown's own witnesses established that Maitland was of good character, pointing to testimony from Donnelly's mother, Sophia Lugg. He said, she basically said, I know you don't have the character to kill anybody, referencing evidence that Ms. Lugg told Maitland's father she did not believe his son killed her child. He argued that Ms. Lugg herself introduced another possible suspect, Kathiana Smith, noting evidence of a physical confrontation between Smith and Donaldson and threats made by Smith to Maitland. Townsend said, we are not saying it is Kathiana, but she was a suspect. Why are we being treated differently when we complied with what was asked? He attacked the credibility of the neighbor who testified that Maitland asked him to delete footage, describing the account as rubbish and foolishness. He also challenged the evidence of the car wash attendant who claimed to have seen blood run like rice grain from Maitland's couch. He argued the science had proven that the car wash attendant never seen a blood, pointing to forensic tests that found none at the location. He said the witness's powers of observation were weak and unreliable. Turning to the alleged FaceTime call with Donnelly's brother, Townsend said the identification of the background was flawed and not conducted like an identification parade. He criticized the police for failing to seize the brother's phone to verify the call. On the blood evidence, Townsend argued that while Donnelly's DNA was found on a curtain and 2 shoes, scientists could not say when it was deposited. He said it could have been there for over a year, noting Maitland's explanation involving a miscarriage and sexual activity on his balcony. He emphasized that forensic testing with luminol revealed no blood on the walls or floors of the apartment. Luminol is a chemical used in forensic science to detect blood at crime scenes even if cleaned. Townsend added, they investigated sightings of Donnelly in Old Harbor after charging him. That proves they are not sure whether she is dead. Then how on God's son can you be sure? In closing, Townsend told jurors that the cage is wide open and the Crown's case does not meet the standard required for conviction. He said, there comes a time in life when you have to make tough decisions fearlessly. Justice in Jamaica rests on your shoulders. Can we convict a man on this evidence? He urged the jurors not to rush, not to be influenced, and not to be afraid. Townsend reiterated, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The 2 senior municipal corporation employees caught with nearly 21 pounds of cocaine at Sangster International Airport have been charged. They are 40-year-old Trevon Clayton and 42-year-old Latoya Hemmings. Hemmings is a senior managing accountant at the Trelawney Municipal Corporation, while Clayton is the chief financial officer at the St. Anne Municipal Corporation. Shalois Michael reports.
Trevon Clayton and Latoya Hemmings have been jointly charged with conspiracy as well as multiple counts of possession of, dealing in, and attempting to export cocaine. Hemmings has also been charged with possession of criminal property. The police say additional charges are pending for Clayton, who's under medical observation. The two were arrested last Friday following an operation at the airport by the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID. Reports from FNID are that Clayton and Hemmings, who were traveling together, checked in for a flight destined for New York. They were intercepted around midday by port security and FNID personnel at a security checkpoint. The search of their luggage reportedly revealed several false compartments containing packages of cocaine weighing 20.5 pounds. Police also found a quantity of U.S. currency in Hemmings' handbag. Following the arrests, FNID conducted secondary operations at the suspects' residences in Trelawney, where they seized a Glock 19 pistol, 13 rounds of ammunition, and 1 ounce of cocaine. Police further disclosed that Clayton was taken to hospital after admitting that he ingested cocaine pellets. So far, he has expelled 82 pellets. Hemmings is scheduled to appear before the St. James Parish Court on Friday. Clayton's court date is being finalized. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
The police have confirmed that the case of murder-suicide on Dorado Drive in Harborview, Kingston on Tuesday stemmed from a domestic dispute. Commanding Officer for the Kingston Eastern Division Superintendent Michelle Campbell provided the update with our news center. The deceased are Morvin Thompson Palmer and her husband, Pete. Superintendent Campbell says Mr. Palmer stabbed his wife to death. He then electrocuted himself. Superintendent Campbell says the two have been engaged in domestic-related issues for some time. Mrs. Thompson Palmer was a paralegal while her husband was a mason.
The country has recorded a 45% decline in murders since the start of the year. That's according to crime data published by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. According to the JCF, 22 homicides had been committed up to January 17. That's 18 fewer than the 40 murders recorded in the corresponding period last year. Within the same period, shootings also saw a major decline. The JCF says shootings declined by 17%, coming in at 28 up to January 17. Meanwhile, rape is down by 40%. Break-ins are also down by 34%, but the JCF says robberies have continued to increase, going up by 9%.
Finance Minister Favour Williams has proposed an amendment to the Financial Administration and Audit Act to remove the cap on the maximum amount held in the National Natural Disaster Reserve Fund, NNDRF. The maximum amount is currently set at $10 billion. But speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, Minister Williams says the cap prevented the use of the fund after the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
As a result of the passage of Hurricane Melissa, the disaster coverage for Jamaica was well in excess of $10 billion at approximately $115.7 billion. Hurricane Melissa, having triggered several of these instruments, has resulted in an expected flow of resources well in excess of the $10 billion, the maximum legislated for the NNDRF. The proposed amendment will seek to remove the cap of $10 billion, the maximum that currently applies to the amount that can be held in the NNDRF.
Minister Williams says the Disaster Reserve Fund was established pursuant to an amendment to the FAA Act in June 2024. This amendment would provide Jamaica with a disaster risk management facility which would enable an immediate financial response to any disaster that has either a fiscal impact equivalent to or greater than 1.5% of GDP or $55 billion. The minister adds that the amendments would also include ending certain mandatory annual transfers.
This bill seeks to amend the FAA Act to cease mandatory annual transfers from the Consolidated Fund to the NNDRF once the balance is at or above $10 billion, and to remove Section 13A(1)(a)(I), which makes provision for the transfer of $200 million from the Consolidated Fund to the NNDRF during the financial year 2023-2024.
The Financial Administration and Audit Amendment Act was passed a short while ago in the lower house. You're listening to Nationwide News at 5. More news after these.
See twice the style for less at IQ Optical. Buy one pair of glasses and get your second and third pair half price. Don't miss out. Call 876-929-7732 or visit IQ Optical today, where clarity never looked sharper.
The time by IQ Optical is
5:14.
Termites, rodents, or birds infesting your home or office? Call Rentokil Initial, the pest expert, at 876-926-4236 for a free pest assessment island-wide. The temperature brought to you by Rentokil Initial is...
It's 29 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 in Montego Bay.
KFC, my mind studying. Right now I'm thinking chicken, famous bowl. Chicken box combo and popcorn chicken, KFC on my mind. It's on my brain, great flavor, great taste like every day. Give me that price. Value benefit the budget, little bit to your pay.
The KFC value menu always has you thinking chicken. Get the chicken box combo for just $680, or get the famous bowl combo for $620, or popcorn chicken combo for $630. KFC is finger licking good.
Continuing the news, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness defended his administration's decision to cap the contribution from the Consolidated Fund to the National Natural Disaster Risk Fund, NDRF. It's one of the amendments outlined in the Financial Administration and Audit Amendment Act 2024 that was passed. Opposition leader Mark Golding has called for the budgetary cap for the fund to be removed. Mahiri Stewart reports.
Amendments to the Financial Administration and Audit Amendment Act 2024 proposes that once the National Natural Disaster Risk Fund, NNDRF, reaches $10 billion, no further contributions can be made to the instrument from the Consolidated Fund. Currently, $400 million is contributed to the NNDRF annually. Opposition leader Mark Golding wants the budgetary contribution to the fund to be increased.
Given the situation we're living in, environment and climatic conditions that we face, the prudent thing would be for the fund to be continually built up year by year from what is really a modest contribution from the budget of $400 million as a minimum.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness conceded in the lower house on Tuesday that calls for the National Natural Disaster Risk Fund to be at the highest level possible are understandable. He noted, however, that managing the economy is a delicate balance.
Once we are taking out of the consolidated fund, taking out of revenues that we have earned, and we are locking it off in a fund, it's no longer available for anything else. And therefore, we have to manage the fiscal pressures that will arise if we keep taking out of the consolidated fund to locking it off in specific and special funds. I say the consideration that we ask the House to bear in mind. So it's not that we don't want the fund to be huge, but remember, when we sequester funds from the consolidated fund, it increases the fiscal pressure. So it's a balancing act.
He defended the amendment, arguing that the government disaster risk response is multi-layered.
Remember the framework that we have, where we have different funds for different levels of risk. So the National Disaster Risk Fund is meant to be your first call, essentially, to deal with what is usually described as low-intensity, low-risk incidents that occur. And therefore, what the Ministry of Finance is trying to do is to gauge what that kind of low-intensity disaster, low-risk disaster would be. And then if you go past low-intensity disaster, then there is another kind of instrument that addresses it. And I think that they have come up with that framework, which works.
But opposition leader Mark Golding argued that the cap needs to be removed. According to him, there should be no cap on how much money can be contributed to the NNDRF from the Consolidated Fund.
All of your matrix or layers go into this fund. If you look at paragraph B of 13A, it says all amounts received by the government from the triggering of national disaster instruments held by or on behalf of the government all come in. There are different sources of what goes into this fund to fund the losses. My only point is I don't see the relevance of saying that once you get to 10 billion from the consolidated fund over time, you no longer have to make the annual contribution to it of $400 million. $400 100 million Jamaican dollars is what the law says you have to make available each fiscal year to this fund, but it caps it at 10 billion. And what this amendment does, it says once you reach 10 billion, you no longer have to make those contributions. I'm just questioning that the sense of that or the prudence of that in the era in which we live.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
The estimated cost of hurricane damage to agro-parks across the island is estimated to be over 1 billion Jamaican dollars. This as Hurricane Melissa severely impacted at least 8 of the island's agro-parks. That's according to Agriculture Minister Floyd Green.
Our agro-parks suffered significant damage. About $1.3 billion in damage was suffered across our 8 agro-parks and affected about 11 production zones. We have already provided Agro-Invest Corporation $30 million for them to drive the recovery effort across the agro-parks. And they have been doing that, focusing on things like seeds, fertilizer, chemicals, land preparation. In fact, one of the big policy changes is that we have given a moratorium on lease, which is valued at $40 million and supports 440 investors across 2,750 hectares.
Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, he was speaking at a press briefing in St. Andrew on Tuesday.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
The Ministry of Home Affairs in Guyana says it has taken note of serious allegations of sexual exploitation, abuse of authority, and misconduct at the country's police force academy. The disclosure was made in a statement on Tuesday. It says upon receipt of the report, the administration immediately directed the Criminal Investigation Department and the Office of Professional Responsibility to commence full investigations into the allegations. The ministry says it's treating the matter with the utmost seriousness. It also reiterated its zero-tolerance policy for abuse, exploitation, or misconduct within any agency under its oversight. The ministry says any individual found to have engaged in wrongdoing will be charged and held fully accountable under the law.
The European Parliament is planning to suspend approval of the U.S. tariffs deal agreed in July. That's according to sources close to its International Trade Committee. The suspension is set to be announced in France on Wednesday. Trade tensions between the U.S. and Europe has eased since the two sides struck a deal in July last year. The agreement set U.S. tariffs on European goods at 15%, down from the 30% Trump initially threatened. In exchange, Europe had agreed to invest in the U.S. The deal still needs approval from the European Parliament to become official. But on the weekend, a German member of the Parliament said the approval was not possible at this stage.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, defense attorney Christopher Townsend tells jurors to reject what he called a broken and unreliable puzzle in Noel Maitland's murder trial.
The two senior government workers caught with 21 pounds of cocaine at airport have been charged.
Government wants $10 billion cap on the maximum amount held in the National Natural Disaster Reserve Fund removed. I'm Robeanne Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
You can find the news on our website at revonews.ai and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. $250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet. tablet for the all and your crew. Give the smile, give the smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to give the smile, give the smile, give the smile.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Jamaica Post is committed to being your preferred logistics partner. Enjoy the convenience of 3 to 5 days for international shipments at competitive rates and next business day delivery for local packages. Take advantage of our fast, reliable and ever-evolving services: Zip Mail, Click and Ship, Fast Track, EMS, Parcel Service, Registered Mail, Corporate Mail Service and Private Letterbox. Access customer service support and track packages online. Visit our post offices island-wide and premium service centers at select locations. For more information, go to jamaicapost.gov.jm. Conditions apply.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. The West Indies will look to level their three-match T20 international series with Afghanistan when the two meet in the second game of their three-match series at the Dubai International Stadium. That game at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, Jamaica time. The two-time world champions, they lost the first game by 38 runs on Monday in what is their penultimate warm-up series ahead of the World Cup next month. The West Indies batters really failed to fire in the opening game with only Johnson Charles, Quentin Sampson, Matthew Ford and Gudakesh Moti playing good hands. And in the bowling department, Jaden Seals and Moti were the ones providing decent figures. Afghanistan would also look to improve their batting despite they getting up to 181 on Monday, because at one stage they were 19 for 2 and had to be rescued by a brilliant 162-run third wicket stand. Following the game, the West Indies team for the West Indies squad for the World Cup should be named. Still with cricket, Jamaica will end their interest in the CWI T20 Blaze Women's Cricket Competition on Wednesday. They'll take on Trinidad and Tobago in the first game of a triple header over at Arnoldsville in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Jamaican ladies are out of contention for a place in Friday's final, having lost the first 3 of their 4 games. Their only victory came on Monday when they beat the Windward Islands by 7 wickets also at Arnoldsville. Meanwhile, the Leeward Islands were already into the final on Friday, will look to end the preliminary round with a perfect record. They clash with the Windward Islands in the feature game. That game gets underway at 6 p.m. Jamaica time on a Wednesday. The other game on the day will see the defending champions Guyana taking on Barbados at 2:30. Now, the Guyanese can still get into the final if they beat Barbados, but they also have to hope that the Jamaica team beat Trinidad and Tobago as well. The Leewards are safely, as I mentioned, into the final as well. Now, the Brazilian international Gabi Jesus scored twice as English Premier League hotshot Arsenal. They beat Inter Milan by 3-1 at the San Siro Stadium in Milan a short time ago to maintain their 100% record in the European Champions League, and this has guaranteed top 2 place in the preliminary round, even with a game to spare. Jesus' goals came 21 minutes apart. It was sandwiched by a Petro Suchik equalizer from Milan, but the outstanding Victor Gyökeres, he got the seal the game for Arsenal to make it 3-1 and to move them to 7 games from 7 starts.
Eze, Marino,
the end it fell for Timber and then slid in by Gabriel Jesus with the poacher's instinct that perhaps has been missing up front for Arsenal on occasion this season. Saka. Trossard. Oh, and in. A set piece pays off. Gabriel Jesus skips away delighted again. And Arsenal have scored from a corner for the 19th time this season. Martinelli to clear Arsenal lines. At the outside of his boots, he's found Victor Gyökeres. Saka is delivered with a bit too much pace, but Gyökeres follows up and bags a goal that seals the deal for Arsenal. Top two finish in the bag with a game to spare.
And over in Norway, Kasper Holt scored twice as Bodo Glimt, they upstaged Manchester City by 3-1. The champions Paris Saint-Germain, they lost again. They were beaten 2-1 away to Sporting CP. Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe, they scored 2 goals apiece as the Real Madrid, they crushed AS Monaco by 6-1 at the San Diego Bernabeu Stadium today. And Tottenham defeated Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. And that concludes sports for now. In fact, we're going to have sports again tomorrow morning. That's on Wednesday morning during the news at 6.
For all your custom framing, printing, graphic design, and purchase of art, Make It Frame Art Jamaica Limited, serving you for over 40 years. The time by Frame Art Jamaica is
5:30.
Discover opportunities, build connections that shape your future. Join the Jamaica Stock Exchange for its 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference, January 20 through 22, 2026, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Come here, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Finance Minister Mrs. Fayval Williams, Mr. Gregory Fisher of Jefferies, Mr. Livingston Morrison of Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Angus Young of NCB Capital Markets, and more notable speakers. Seats are limited. Register now at jscregionalconference.com or call 876-967-3271.
Managing your investments with Sagicor is now easy as ever. You can fund stocks, repos, and do more seamlessly. Even get a clear overview of your portfolio performance on the enhanced Sagicor eBank platform. Want to experience effortless investment banking on Sagicor eBank? It's as easy as ever. Contact your Sagicor Investment Wealth Advisor today and update your personal information for access. Call 888-SAGICOR or visit sagicor.com for more information.
Hurricane Melissa may be over, but the emotional impact can linger. It's normal to feel anxious, sad, or overwhelmed. Talk about your feelings, stay connected with family and friends, and reach out for help if you need it. Call the Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. You can also access the You Matter chat line by messaging the word support to 876-838-4897 or at You Report Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Tune in to Nationwide at 5 on January 20 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus. Discover opportunities and build connections that shape your future under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Hear from Jamaica's Prime Minister, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Finance Minister Fable Williams, and more. Seats are limited, so register now at jamstockx.com or call 876-967-3271. That's the 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus. Tune in to Nationwide at 5, Tuesday, January 20, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Or catch our broadcast live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Keep your station on Nationwide 90 FM.
This broadcast is brought to you by Fossrich Company and Jamaica Broilers.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here. 26 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. I'm Cliff Hughes, and we will be joined by Ricardo Brooks a little later at the Jamaica Pegasus, where he's coming from the Jamaica Stock Exchange Regional Conference. But in our cover story this afternoon, should we maintain or disband jury trials, or should we continue with a hybrid of judge alone or jury trials? Well, King's Counsel Peter Champagny believes we should maintain the status quo, where some cases are tried by judge alone while others are placed before a jury. His comments follow a recent statement from Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, in which he indicated that the issue will be the subject of deliberations by a joint select committee. Earlier this month, Chief Justice Brian Sykes again called for judge-alone trials. He lamented the dependence on jury trials and that it continues to create backlogs in the justice system. Speaking in Parliament last Tuesday, Minister Chuck announced that a joint select committee is to be established to examine matters relating to the Jury Act. Minister Chuck noted that the committee will deliberate, among other matters, whether trial by jury should maintain its place in the system. The Joint Select Committee, which will consider the submissions from stakeholders and members of the public, will also consider which cases are most appropriate for jury or bench trials. KC Champagny says there's nothing injurious about the current system.
I'm not saying that the jury system is the only way to go. I think what we have right now in terms of a hybrid system, judge-alone trials and jury trials, is the perfect combination, because there are some cases that will lend themselves to a judge-alone trial or is desirous for that as opposed to a jury trial, and the converse is also true.
King's Counsel Peter Champagny and another senior attorney, Lloyd McFarlane, says there's merit in maintaining judge-alone and jury trials.
I have more often than not advised my client to go by judge alone. But there are cases where it is important that it be done by a jury. It is significant that the DPP's office, when led by Paula Llewellyn, took the view that several matters should actually be done by jurors when the accused person sought to have the option of a judge-alone trial. This is difficult to understand, but she has expressed the view that this option was important to the DPP's office. So from both sides, it is clear that we should have the option maintained. Our Parliament must find a way to improve the situation with persons coming out for jury duty to the extent where that option is allowed to be remaining.
That's Lloyd McFarlane, attorney at law. Well, we're going to explore this issue this afternoon for the next 20 minutes or so with two Jamaicans who have served as jurors. One, a former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Bruce Golding, and Michael Gale, a citizen. Yes? Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Cliff. Good afternoon, Cliff. But I'm also a citizen.
Yes, you are. You couldn't be Prime Minister without being a citizen of Jamaica.
Follow you.
Michael Gale, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Golding.
Hi, how are you doing, Michael?
I'm fine.
And thank you so much for agreeing to be here with us as we discuss and grapple with this issue. Let me begin with you, for Prime Minister Golding. What stood out to you most about that experience you had inside the courtroom?
Well, I found it very instructive, really very instructive. I'd never done it before. You hear about court trials where juries hand down a verdict, but being there, being responsible, and the other jurors in their dubious wisdom selected me to be the foreman of the jury. But I found it very instructive because, first of all, as the Chief Justice has pointed out, the juries are made up of mainly typical, ordinary Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm.
The jury that I sat on was comprised of persons, most of whom lived below Harpatry and Crossroads.
By the way, you served as a juror before or after you were Prime Minister?
No, after. It couldn't have been before.
Okay.
Yeah, this was about 10 years ago, back in 2015, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And my colleague jurors were ordinary Jamaicans. But what I found very instructive was their intuitiveness. They were very analytical in their discussion of the testimonies. They were very attentive to the evidence that was given. They made notes. And when we got into the jury room now, after all the testimonies had been given, when we got there now to render our verdict, I found them to be painstaking. We spent 2 hours discussing all of the evidence, and when a point was made, one of the juries would say, well, but so-and-so. And I found it really instructive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bear in mind, Cliff, that there are powerful arguments on both sides, whether we should dispense with jury trials or whether we should retain them.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those arguments have to do with the fact that juries tend to reflect societal norms and values, not just legal technicalities.
Yes.
And therefore they are able to understand context in a way that judges might not.
Mm-hmm.
Another argument in favor of juries is the fact that, and I don't think this applies to Jamaica, but in countries where judges are politically appointed,
mm-hmm.
juries provide a backstop, a buffer,
mm-hmm.
to ensure that decisions and verdicts are not politically tainted.
Yes.
But then there are other considerations. I mean, the problem of harnessing jurors drawn from the voters list and the ease with which persons who are summoned are able to find a way to escape serving. That is a problem.
Hold it there for me, Mr. Golding. Let me ask Michael Gale. Mr. Gale, what was your experience like in serving as a juror?
Well, I served 2 times. And for the first time, what I find interesting is that when the time comes for us to deliberate in the jury room,
yes,
everybody take part. And we even ask for a particular evidence to present to us in the jury rooms. And The only show off for me with the jury system is that sometimes I go there, you sit all day doing nothing at all.
Waiting to be called? Or?
Waiting to be called. They have you in a room, and everybody in the room just there sit looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Someone will come and told us that we needed in court 1. We went to court 1. We sit there for a while the judge and the lawyers deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be there for a while, then them send you back to the room. You sit there again all day till them just tell you can go home.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that for 2 weeks straight, nothing at all, just go there and just sit there.
And how much were you paid each day?
No, for me, I didn't even ask about that, 'cause I wasn't interested in that. I wasn't interested in payment. I just went there because I get called to go there and I want the experience, so I just go there. I didn't go there for any payment, anything at all.
You see it as a public duty as a citizen?
Right.
Hold the line for us, Michael Gale, former Prime Minister Golding. We're up on a break. Stay with us.
Order Pizza Hut online at pizzahutjamaica.com or through WhatsApp at 876-837-4488. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery. The time by Pizza Hut is
5:45.
We know the recovery after Hurricane Melissa hasn't been easy. That's why Flow is here to support our customers every step of the way. Flow has been issuing rebates to customers who experienced service disruptions as part of our commitment to doing right by you. Your bill is created automatically, so you may still receive one as usual. But if you're due a rebate, you'll see it clearly listed as an adjustment on that same bill. We encourage you to take a moment to review your statement to confirm the credited amount. And if your service is still offline because of Hurricane Melissa, rebates will continue until service is restored. Rebates are issued twice per month. If it's not reflected on your current bill, it should appear on the next bill. At Flow, our focus is on fairness, transparency, and making sure our customers feel supported. Thank you for your patience, your loyalty, and your understanding as we work to fully restore service across all affected communities.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Discover opportunities. Build connections that shape your future. Join the Jamaica Stock Exchange for its 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference, January 20 through 22, 2026, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Come here, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Finance Minister Mrs. Fayval Williams, Mr. Gregory Fisher of Jefferies, Mr. Livingston Morrison of Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Angus Young of NCB Capital Markets, and more notable speakers. Seats are limited. Register now at jscregionalconference.com or call 876-967-3271.
Welcome back. It's 13 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. We're dealing with the issue of whether Jamaica should continue with the hybrid use of judge alone and jury trials, or disband jurors altogether and go with judge alone. We have with us a former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Bruce Golding, who served as a juror after he retired from politics, as well as a Jamaican ordinary man, Michael Gale. Mr. Gale and Mr. Golding, are you there? Oh, we lost Mr. Golding.
Yes.
But let me go with Mr. Gale. Mr. Gale, where do you come down on this issue? Chief Justice Brian Sykes says it's time for judge-alone trials. Yeah? What do you say? What's your position?
For me, I think it's best to use jury because some cases, I think some cases definitely need other opinion, just not a judge's opinion only.
Yeah, why? But the judge is very learned in the law, yeah? Some jurors are not. Tell me.
Yeah, but for the main fact, it's not some jurors are not. We are just ordinary citizens and we know stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
A judge will call down a verdict based on what is presented.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Likewise, a normal citizen. And when when you are in the courthouse, and the judge pointed out to you as well that your judgment must be on the evidence that presented.
Yes.
Not what you just did. You're looking at what presented, what you're listening to, and it has to make sense.
Mm-hmm. What kind of trials were you involved in, Mr. Gale?
The first time I went there, I get picked on 3 murder trials.
Oh, all murder trials?
Right, all murder trials.
Uh-huh.
And for the most part, most of the cases there are murder trials.
Yes.
It's like probably when I've been there just sitting and observing, probably about 2 cases were rape case.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said for those cases it was like, it's not a full panel jury. Like I think it was like 7 jurors for rape case.
Mm-hmm.
But for murder case it was like 10 to 12 jurors, I think.
So you actually did 2 cases or 3?
No, I did 3 cases the first time.
3 cases?
3 cases.
And what were the verdicts in all 3?
The first case, the first case, remember the judge told us that what you're presenting, what your judgment must be, and what is presented to you. And for the first case, the guy was acquitted.
Yes. And that was a unanimous decision?
Yeah, that was a unanimous decision.
Uh-huh. And the other 2?
The other 2 cases was guilty, and it didn't take us an hour for everybody to say guilty.
Why?
Based on the evidence presented.
Mm-hmm. It was strong.
And you went to when I go to the jury room, it's like the head juror talk first, then everybody present their case, whether you say is guilty or not guilty. So it was the majority.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody did have to say why you said guilty or why you said not guilty. It's just not going there and just said guilty or not guilty only.
Right.
Former Prime said why it was guilty and why it is not guilty.
Right. Former Prime Minister Golding,
yes, sir.
Where do you come down on this issue? Should we stick with the hybrid system or that we now have, or go judge alone? And why?
Cliff, my mind is still open. I believe that there are some cases that involve so much technicalities that they ought to be reserved to a judge alone trial. But I do believe that we have to be careful about ensuring that the people have a say in the administration of justice. There have been instances in which I believe that the people's understanding, the people's familiarity with social norms play an important part in determining guilt or innocence. One of the concerns that I think we have to bear in mind, though, is that when a judge delivers a verdict, he has to do so in writing, which may not be immediate. It may come sometime after he delivers that verdict.
Mm-hmm.
When a jury delivers its verdict, it is either guilty or not guilty. And you don't get anything to give you some understanding as to how they arrived at the verdict. And that is something that worries me, because the jury room is secret, and therefore you don't have an opportunity to determine how they arrived at that,
Mm-hmm.
and what may have been the considerations, and whether or not there was any biases, you know.
Yes.
So that concerns me. I believe we need a robust debate on this. I believe that we should end up with a situation where some cases would be reserved for judge only, and other cases would be subject to jury trial, with the option be open to the accused person as to whether or not he wants to be tried in a jury situation.
And which cases should be reserved, Mr. Golding, in your opinion, first to you and then Mr. Gale, for judge alone?
I don't have enough information to be able to determine that. That's why I think that we need some discussion. We need a debate on the matter.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mr. Gale? For example, Mr. Gale, do you think murder trials, yes, serious crimes that could put you away for a long time, yeah, could be final in the event of, for example, murder, that juries should be allowed?
Yeah, I really think, from my opinion, I really think those cases need jury.
Why?
But I think, in a high-profile murder case, honestly, I just don't think there should be a judge only. But other cases there which, like, for example, rape case. When I was there as being jury, rape cases, it was like 7 jurors. And it was like all day to pick 7 jurors. So I just think those cases can be judge cases only.
Yes. Mr. Golding?
Yeah, 2 final points I wanted to make. One is, you run into a problem where, you know, the judge instructs the jury as to how they should arrive at their verdict. And those instructions sometimes are difficult for ordinary people who are untrained in the law to understand that. That, to my mind, poses a problem that needs to be addressed. Secondly, if you have a case that is not to be tried in a jury setting, I believe that it is inappropriate to have that case tried by a single judge. What a number of countries, India for one, I'm talking about countries that operate under the common law. What they have done is that, having dispensed with jury trials as they have done, trials can't be with just a single judge. It must be with a panel of judges, normally 3. So that, and of course, that will have serious implications for the scheduling of cases if you have to have 3 judges trying each case. But that's something that we need to take into account as well.
Yes.
But Chris, when the judge instructed you in the courtroom that the evidence supposed to be based upon your decision supposed to be based upon the evidence provided.
Yes.
I think well, first of all, whenever time you're in the courtroom and they're picking the juror, they call you by your name and your occupation. So I guess that is one of the things most of the lawyers choose the jury by.
Mm-hmm. Michael, you're correct, you know. But but there's an issue. When a jury made up of persons who are not trained in law sit in the jury room to deliberate, one of the things that worry me is that they cannot be expected to understand legal precedent. So that lawyers understand that, judges understand that, but they may very well end up rendering a verdict that goes against long-established legal precedent.
I think that is one of the reasons why.
Much of that, of course, depends on the kind of instruction that the judges give the jury. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of room, a lot of space for that to fall, between the cracks.
We're out of time, and I have to ask you, Bruce Golding, how did you make it onto the final jury panel? Because there's a thesis I've heard a number of lawyers say that, listen, I have been wanting to serve as a juror, and I'm told nobody try, because you're going to be opposed, because you're going to influence the others. Yeah? How did you make it after serving as Prime Minister?
I didn't make it, I got a summons for jury when I was Prime Minister. And I had to get a lawyer to go to the court to point out that as Prime Minister, it would not be appropriate for me to serve as a juror. But then, after I ceased being Prime Minister, back in 2015, I think it was, I got another summons. And one of my lawyers said, look, I can go to the court and get them to excuse you. I said, no, I'm no longer in office. It's a civic duty, and I want to set an example, so I will serve. Mm-hmm. There was no objection when I got there. This was the case. You might remember, Cliff, the case of Vanessa Wint.
Oh yes, the St. Louis. That was an immaculate girl.
Yeah, well, it was a coroner's inquest. She was in custody at Horizon, and it was alleged that she had committed suicide, and there was a coroner's inquest, and that was the case.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to say that I enjoyed it, but I found it very instructive, and I was very, very impressed with the contributions that were made by the other jurors.
Yes. Thank you very much, Bruce Golding, Michael Gale. Thank you very much. And this is something we should continue to watch and to be engaged in. It's a major issue that the Joint Select Committee and ultimately the Parliament will have to decide on. But we, the people of Jamaica, should let our voices be heard on this. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
It's important that you encourage the discussion, Cliff.
Thank you. Yes, we have to. Thank you. It's after 6 o'clock. Time for the headlines. And a little later, we're going to join Ricardo Brooks at the Pegasus Hotel for the Stock Exchange Regional Capital Markets Conference. And of course, you can go to Nationwide TV to see The Deadly Ritual, the Kevin Smith story, the documentary. You want to see it. Please get some time and take a look at it. That's on YouTube, Nationwide TV.
The hour was brought to you by the KFC Value Menu. Grab a chicken box, famous bowl, small popcorn chicken, or crunch sandwich today with combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Yo, check this out. This is Ding Dong Ravers, one of your patrons for the Sagicor Sigma Run 2026. And this year, we are bringing out the best as we run, walk, and wheel for the West.
Hi, this is Lisa Hanno, and I'm proud to be a patron for this run in aid of funds to repair and rebuild schools damaged by Hurricane Melissa.
Hey, Public Civil here. I spent my whole life trying to make records, but this record is going to be special.
We're aiming to raise a record $150 million for children in the West.
Well, everybody come jump up, lace up, wheel up, donate some money, everybody sign up. We are run for the West.
Sign up now at SagicorSigmaRun.com.
We know the recovery after Hurricane Melissa hasn't been easy. That's why Flow is here to support our customers every step of the way. Flow has been issuing rebates to customers who experienced service disruptions as part of our commitment to doing right by you. Your bill is created automatically, so you may still receive one as usual. But if you're due a rebate, you'll see it clearly listed as an adjustment on that same bill. We encourage you to take a moment to review your statement to confirm the credited amount. And if your service is still offline because of Hurricane Melissa, rebates will continue until service is restored. Rebates are issued twice per month. If it's not reflected on your current bill, it should appear on the next bill. At Flow, our focus is on fairness, transparency, and making sure our customers feel supported. Thank you for your patience, your loyalty, and your understanding as we work to fully restore service across all affected communities.
Discover opportunities. Build connections that shape your future. Join the Jamaica Stock Exchange for its 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference, January 20 through 22, 2026, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Come here, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Finance Minister Mrs. Fayval Williams, Mr. Gregory Fisher of Jefferies, Mr. Livingston Morrison of Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Angus Young of NCB Capital Markets, and more notable speakers. Seats are limited. Register now at jscregionalconference.com or call 876-967-3271.
A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. I'm Ricardo Brooks and I'm coming to you live from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew for the opening ceremony of the Jamaica Stock Exchange 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference. This year's conference is being held from January 20 to 22 under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. This conference aims to create an awareness of the importance of the capital markets to the economic development and prosperity throughout the region. It also aims to facilitate the development of strategies, they say, necessary for the future growth of the sector in the region and to assist in the creation of partnerships and improved understanding necessary for unlocking investment opportunities. The JSC expects to be joined by participants from the region and several continents. Among those down to speak this evening are the CEO of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Livingston Morrison, Managing Director of Jefferies Global Wealth Management, Gregory Fisher, and the CEO of NCB Capital Markets, Angus Young. He's with me. You're going to hear from him shortly. The keynote address will be delivered by the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness. His theme topic, Jamaica Devastation Relief, Recovery and Resilience. But for the meantime, I have with me Angus King, the
Young.
Angus Young, I beg your pardon, the Chief Executive Officer of NCB Capital Markets Limited. How are you?
Good, great. Thank you for having me here this evening.
I'm happy to have you. Let me first of all start by asking why NCB Capital Markets thought it important to support something like this.
Anywhere NCB Capital Markets operates, you would see us take a very deliberate involvement in the domestic ecosystem that supports the capital markets. We want to see the domestic space grow. We want to see it stay fundamentally sound. We want to have our influence to make sure that things are done in a progressive manner. And we also want to be a part of the nation building wherever we operate. So here in Jamaica, NCB very focused on building a better Jamaica. Our support of the domestic capital market space is exactly that.
And why do you think this event in particular has become so central to Jamaica and the region at large?
The JSE Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference is probably the premier capital markets conference in the English-speaking Caribbean. I think if there was one conference you had to attend a year, it would be this one. The market players across the region come to Jamaica to attend this conference. Anyone who is a mover and shaker would want to be at this conference. It's that important.
And NCB Capital Markets, you've seen it, you've seen the development and the growth. Talk to me about how that has evolved over the last, say, decade or so.
So I think what you see is, the Jamaica as a country has been on the right trajectory since prior to COVID. All the economic statistics are going in the right direction. Debt is being paid down. The economy is growing. The economy is buoyant. And what you find is Jamaicans have this investment for appetite that they go beyond their shores. So what you're seeing now in the region are actually Jamaican investors going beyond Jamaica and investing in countries like Trinidad and Guyana. And many years ago, it was the other way around. Countries from outside of Jamaica were coming in and buying Jamaican companies. Now Jamaican companies are buying extra-regional companies.
Yeah. And that appetite for investment, for expansion, how do you see that tying into resilience? Because that seems to be the buzzword these days, resilience, especially here in Jamaica, but the region more broadly.
So, I have had the good fortune of traveling the region, working in the region, being intimately involved in the various domestic spaces. There is no being in this world that I have met that is more resilient than a Jamaican. So it is not a surprise to me that the Jamaican capital markets, which are the most sophisticated, the most deep in the region, brings that resilience to the table. It's just in the Jamaican DNA.
Yeah, and the role specifically now that the capital markets can play in ensuring and securing resilience. How do you see that?
So let's be live with it. So we have Melissa and the after effects of the devastating hurricane. The capital markets are going to play a very important role to mobilize the capital in non-traditional ways to reboot or to build back what Melissa destroyed. If you wouldn't be able to rely on a traditional banking system to build back from such a catastrophe. You would need capital at every layer of the capital structure, and that's where the capital markets come to play.
Yeah. And specifically now at this year's conference, what will be NCB's area of focus? What are you hoping to drive home?
I think what you're going to see during this week is that things are evolving. So economies are evolving. The geopolitical situation in the Western Hemisphere is evolving at a pace. And then the domestic regulatory ecosystem, the regulatory regime is also evolving very quickly. And those things are going to dictate what the future broker-dealer looks like. And you're going to gain exposure to have insight into those who have the clairvoyance to tell you what it's going to look like in the future.
Can I stay a little bit with that geopolitical aspect? And you talk about clairvoyance, looking into the future.
Yes.
Talk to us about that process in terms of how you predict, how you do that clairvoyance in an environment that is so volatile and unpredictable. Because on any given morning, there's something new. We just don't know. How do you do that?
Well, I think as Caribbean nations, we need to stand together. I think we need to look after each other. Most of the English-speaking Caribbean countries have no motherland to go to. So we kind of we are relying on ourselves.
So this is our home. We're here.
Absolutely, we're not going anywhere. We're not multinationals that could fly in and out and leave one at a whim. We're here and we're staying here. This is our part of the world. So we have to act and behave in ways that are responsible and make sure that we do things right, and to make sure that the rest of the country rely on those people who are in charge of capital and capital allocators. The geopolitics is something we can't ignore. I mean, look at the Venezuela situation. Trinidad is 6 miles away from Venezuela. So it's in our backyard. You could think about Grenada, you could think about Cuba, Nicaragua. So we need to be very vigilant as to what's happening in our backyard. We need to be very responsible. And I think those who can spot the opportunities will do very well.
And do you think that Jamaican investors have been that agile, that they have been able to spot the opportunities in these uncertain times?
Ricardo, I would bet on a Jamaican any day.
Yeah.
Apart from being resilient, they are extremely entrepreneurial. Their DNA is they see opportunity before anyone else, but more importantly, they act on it. The Jamaican DNA is one that is aggressive towards investment in a very positive way. I see them as being, true capitalists. And when you merge that with being resilient, you have a winning game.
And finally, Angus Young, the NCB, you've been a principal sponsor of this.
Sure.
Talk to me a little bit about now what has driven the long-term partnership that you've stayed with it.
Absolutely. So traditionally, NCB Capital Markets has held the pole position on the leaderboard, where equity and debt capital market issuances, give or take every year. If you look at the average, I am pretty sure that we're on the leaderboard for both equity and debt capital markets. So this is our ecosystem. This is our playground. We want to see it grow. We want to see it be managed responsibly. So our sponsorship of this conference, which is in excess of 20 years now, is right where we want to be, and we have no intention of going anywhere else.
Yeah. Committed to Jamaica. Angus Young is the Chief Executive Officer of NCB Capital Markets Limited. Not Angus King, who is a U.S. Senator. Angus Young. Thank you so much for your time. Really
Thanks for having me, Ricardo.
Thank
you for being here.
We're going to go for a break and come back with more.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? GeoLand Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. GeoLand Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane relief cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
We're back with you on Nationwide at 5, and I'm coming to you from the opening ceremony of the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference. It's being held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew. I told you that you'd be hearing from a group of heavy hitters, big speakers. One of them, Livingstone Morrison, who is the CEO of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. He joins me now. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you, and great seeing you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So let me start by asking you, the theme, capital markets fueling economic resurgence and resilience. Why is that so important at this time?
Well, can I tell you, interestingly, planning for conference start immediately after one conference ends. So
it wasn't just because of Hurricane Melissa.
Started planning all early last year. And had some wonderful themes lined up, giving consideration to. And then Hurricane Melissa hit. And as usual, we tried to make this conference very relevant and real to the issues of the day. And so as to ensure that we can engage our stakeholders in a meaningful way. As we like to say over the years, this is not a talk shop. It's about action, it's about strategizing, it's about impacting the future in a decisive way. So we thought, having regard to the experiences coming out of, October, we needed to package a forum, a conversation that is going to have the impact going forward.
You talk about your stakeholders. Let's talk a little bit about some of those. Who are those stakeholders?
So we sit at a very interesting place in the economy and of course the financial system. The regulators and we do play a regulatory role as well. However, the FSC is the regulator of choice when it comes down to financial services sector. The Bank of Jamaica, the government, and represented by the ministers, of course. And then we have our issuers of various bonds and shares. Our listed companies, very, very important to us. The accounting profession.
Yes.
We are about providing credible information on which to make investment decisions, and as such, financial statements and the preparation of financial statements of central importance.
Yes.
So we have a wide-ranging group of stakeholders, and let us not forget the investing public, which we invest a lot of time in ensuring that they are comfortable and satisfied. And over time, if you think critically about what we do and distill it into a simple phrase, it would be inspiring confidence.
And that investing public, because as I look around the room, I see a lot of heavy hitters. But that investing public, it's not always the so-called big man in society.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And we like to think of ourselves as holding a very important role of democratizing the financial service sector. And we like to look at what is happening to the group of investing public, the number of persons that are investing in stocks and shares. And we're seeing a steady increase in that over the years.
That's good. Yes. So Jamaicans are getting involved.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We are trying to engage the younger members of the population, making sure that they have the information, they're educated about the importance of the financial services sector and how they can participate,
And that's so important, because I think for a lot of people growing up, they thought of investing as something for the big man.
Oh, absolutely. Or when they think about putting aside a portion of their income, they think about going into the banks, and that's good. That's good. But at some time, you want to, not just think about fueling or financing different initiatives, but also taking on a little bit more risk and earning a bit more at a faster rate. It's all about building wealth.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Nobody can be mad at that. So you talked about the stakeholders. So when they come to the conference now, what can they expect to be different about this conference compared to the others?
Our staff member said to me today, Mr. Morrison, this is going to be the biggest and the best conference, and I'm hoping that it is. We have put together a range of speakers. We are showcasing a number of service providers and the various products and services that they provide. Most importantly, and the schedule of speakers are there. All the players in the financial services sector are here tonight, of course, the Prime Minister is going to be here.
Yes.
And can I tell you, the Prime Minister has been here every single year for the past 10 years.
Really?
Yes. And you know, I'm not surprised because the positioning of this conference in the third week of January every year is strategic. It is an opportunity to give stakeholders a chance to set the stage, outline what the strategies are for the year, and also to hear what other stakeholders, other partners in the economy are planning, so you can calibrate, you can align around a set of strategic outcomes.
Yeah.
So, yes, we put a lot in putting it together, ensuring that we have a list of speakers that will bring new information and dynamic set of information to the public, not just here in Jamaica, but our stakeholders listening from right across the region. But also of great importance is the networking opportunities and the partners. There are many business opportunities that are, hatched here at conference each year. We're excited about that. We've structured the program in such a way as to ensure that there are ample opportunities for, meeting and greeting and having meetings on the margins of the conference around various issues.
My listeners are savvy, so they'll be listening to this conversation and wondering, is it too late to register?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have season passes for all 3 days, or if they are interested in a particular speaker or set of presentations, they can register for a day as well.
Who are some of the speakers that your attendees will hear from?
Well, of course, the Prime Minister is on tonight. The Minister of Finance is going to be on tomorrow. We have regulators from other jurisdictions across the region. The Governor of the Central Bank of Belize is going to be here. Belize is growing rapidly. We'd like to hear about the opportunities in Belize.
So you're really making connections and building.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think of the conference, who ideally do you want to attend?
So we take great pride in the diversity of the audience. We have academia represented. We have the financial services sector. We have just private sector individuals coming in as well. We even have some students coming in. All the professions are represented. We're really excited about what we have been able to put together and continue to offer the public. So once you have an interest in building wealth or participating in the financial services sector, this is a place for you to assimilate, get an idea as to what are the big ideas that are germinating. And from there you can calibrate your strategy for the year and for years to come.
Let's go back to the matter of recovery and resilience now, and talk to me a little bit about how the conference sees itself addressing those themes.
No, great, thanks. So there are a number of developments over the last several weeks since the hurricane. I am looking forward to listening to the Prime Minister today because, a lot has happened. There are several initiatives that were geared towards relief in the first instance, then recovery, and the conversation, the plans, the initiatives are shifting, to rebuilding stronger. I'm excited to hear the Prime Minister set the stage today, not just sharing with us what has been accomplished, and a lot has been accomplished.
In a relatively short period of time.
A lot has been accomplished, and it's not just about taking credit, but showcasing to the Jamaica and to the world what has taken place so far. But most importantly, to point to the future. There is a tremendous opportunity that Jamaica and other countries across the region are exposed to at this point in time. And I think tonight we will get a sense as to how we're going to grab that and shape the future. one of my favorite saying is that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And I think tonight we'll get a sense as to what is happening.
Yeah.
We will start some conversations as well about how the average company, listed company and otherwise, can start preparing themselves for a more resilient future, a more certain future, especially in an era that is impacted so frequently by a variety of events, natural disasters and so on. How can companies generate the sort of information that first of all will inform their investment strategies and help them to build more resilient futures at the company level? And then our investors obviously will benefit from that information.
Yeah.
So we're excited about those sort of practical input to the discussions about how we go forward building better and stronger.
Yeah. And just to remind you listeners, the Prime Minister's keynote address, he will cover the topic Jamaica devastation, relief, recovery, and resilience. If persons want to register, you say they still can. How do they do that?
Just check with the Jamaica, the Stock Exchange website, and the registration information is there. Or call us at 967-3671, and we'll give you all the information.
Excellent. Livingstone Morrison is the Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Group. Yeah? All the best with the conference, sir.
Thank you so very much.
All right. Capital markets fueling economic resurgence and resilience. That's the theme of this year's conference. We're going to take a break and come back with more from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica presents the IFRS Workshop 2026 under the theme Resilience and Recovery. Join leading experts on January 30 and 31 in person at Summit 16 Chelsea Avenue or online via Zoom. Learn about IFRS 18 and 19, IFRS for SMEs, AI in financial reporting, sustainability standards, and financial lessons from Hurricane Melissa. Plus, earn your CPD credits. Register now at icaj.org. Deadline January 23. Don't miss it.
Managing your investments with Sagicor is now easy as ever. You can fund stocks, repos, and do more seamlessly. Even get a clear overview of your portfolio performance on the enhanced Sagicor eBank platform. Want to experience effortless investment banking on Sagicor eBank? It's as easy as ever. Contact your Sagicor Investment Wealth Advisor today and update your personal information for access. Call 888-SAGICOR or visit sagicor.com for more information.
We can light up your world with the rays of the sun, putting pure energy in the palm of your hand.
For over 20 years, Fosrich has been putting a world of energy in your hands. Now we bring you big savings with our line of solar energy products and LED lighting. Financing now available for all your home and commercial retrofit projects. Consult with our in-house staff or certified professional engineers for all your electrical needs. Fosrich lifestyle. It's electric. Fosrich, your energy world.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Nationwide 90 FM is the station. Nationwide at 5 is the program. And my name is Ricardo Brooks, coming to you from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew for the Jamaica Stock Exchange's 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference. It's being held under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience, January 20 to 22. And you're going to hear from a lot of speakers tonight. Livingston Morrison, the CEO of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Managing Director of Jefferies Global Wealth Management, Gregory Fisher, the CEO of NCB Capital Markets, Angus King, and the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness, will deliver the keynote address. His topic is Jamaica Devastation, Relief, Recovery, Resilience. Joining me now, the Vice President of Premium Wealth and Corporate Solutions at Barita Investments, Sansia Thompson. Good evening, Ms. Thompson.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I am all right. So let me start by asking you, from Barita's vantage point, the evolution of this conference and its relevance to capital markets development. How do you see it?
Well, you know, it is important to know that this is the 21st season of the conference, and that's a big milestone, and it really matters. It shows that the platform has remained relevant as our economies and the markets have evolved over the years. And what we found that has changed significantly is the depth of the conversations that we have had each year. It is no longer just about understanding the capital markets. It's about using it in a deliberate way to drive not only economic growth but resilience in the market. One of the things I would share with the listeners is when I look at, for example, the agenda shows, you know, the relevance and how it really applies to the economy, whether it is infrastructure, technology, housing. The agenda is so packed and relevant that there's a lot that anybody and everybody can learn from.
A buzzword I've been hearing so far this evening, resilience. That's been coming up a lot. Talk to me about how you see it, resilience and the capital markets. How do you see it?
Well, for me, resilience means the ability to absorb shock and still move forward. In a practical manner, that looks like diversifying funding sources, having stronger governance systems in place, and having deeper investor participation. When we look at the capital markets, we know that plays a pivotal role in how we're giving back and supporting businesses. And we're moving pretty much from the traditional structure. So in the past, we just thought that once we needed funding as a business, you had to go to a bank.
So a bank, right.
So the capital market has allowed investors to pretty much gain funds from alternative sources as well as spread their risk. So resilience is when you're able to absorb the shocks that come along with it and still able to make progress.
All right, and of course, Barita is assisting in that effort. In terms of thought leadership now and tangible market activity, how are you showing up at this conference at Barita?
For this conference, it is how it is that our sponsorship is just more meaningful than just a participation. Yeah. So while you'll hear from some of my colleagues, for example, Therese Kettle is the Senior Vice President for Investment Banking. I believe my group compliance officer as well will be on. That is Lerone Palmer. My interim CEOs will be there. You'll hear from different subject matter experts. So our participation is not about just lending money to support the conference. We're showing up in areas that matter in a long-term focus.
Yeah.
It's more than just from a thought leadership standpoint. We are contributing to discussions around investor confidence, governance, alternative investments, and the duty of care between not only the industry leaders, but also advisors and clients. And I believe that is critical in a resilient capital market.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you see this conference in terms of its importance to, for example, business leaders, entrepreneurs? How do you see that?
Well, this conference matters because it brings the entire ecosystem into one room. There are policymakers, there are regulators, investors, you have entrepreneurs, you have industry leaders, and industry leaders from across a wide cross-section of industry as well. And they're all engaged in around one shared objective, and this is how it is that you can build resilient, growth-oriented economies. So the theme this year is very practical, especially for what we have endured over the last few months. And you'll find that the agenda reflects that. So you have for business leaders and entrepreneurs, it's really an opportunity to understand where capital is flowing and pretty much how to access it. So I want to ensure or encourage listeners that you're not too big or too small to attend the conference. It offers you an opportunity to be in a room with like-minded persons or persons who you might learn from, persons who you can network and gain opportunities from as well. So it is somewhere you would definitely would not want to miss. You want to be in the room with these persons.
You made a point just now, Ms. Thompson, about you're not too big or too small to be in the room. Talk to the small players who may feel intimidated by the big names like Barita being present here.
Well, talking to a very small investor would mean me encouraging them to come in and listen attentively, not being scared of asking questions. At Barita, we remain open, and it's something that is important to us when we talk about financial literacy, because we understand that for anyone to do well in business, or even as managing your own portfolio, it starts with ensuring that you're financially literate. So we break down the lingo for you to understand what it is that we are recommending, and we put it in practical examples for you. Being in such a room ensures that you are aware of what is happening, not only in Jamaica or in the region, because of course this conference offers global participation, so it brings perspectives from not only in the region. There's a representative from Rwanda, there's Suriname, there's Belize, there's the wider Americas. So you get insights into what is working elsewhere and how you can adapt that locally, which offers you good insight and opportunities as well.
So fair to say you're here to educate and to facilitate. Would that be fair?
Educate, facilitate, but most importantly, make sure that when you come into the room, you are also networking. Talk to the people. Talk to us. We will have representatives in the rooms over the next 2 days. We invite you to come and talk to us as well, that you can learn. As I said, financial literacy is important, and we want to ensure that anyone who does business with us understands exactly what they're getting into.
Excellent. Santia Thompson, the Vice President of Premium Wealth and Corporate Solutions at Barita Investments. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one.
Yes.
And we're switching gears now because I've been joined by Kevin Powell, who is the principal of the Jersey E-Campus. Mr. Powell, good evening.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening to the listeners at Nationwide. Pleasure to be here.
An E-Campus, what is that?
So way before COVID ubiquitized the online learning space, the e-campus from the Jamaica Stock Exchange has always existed, offering distant education and online learning products for players within the financial service industry. Founded in 2010 by the former managing director, Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, our mission remains clear: to build the capacity of the players of the market through market education and training.
And what are some of the products, the services that you offer?
So certainly, as I said before, we offer a wide range of courses, workshops, short courses, and longer courses. The postgraduate diploma, for example, in financial services management, an accredited program by the University Council of Jamaica. In fact, our institution is a registered institution by the University Council of Jamaica. So we offer a range of courses from workshops, one-day workshops, to 6 weeks courses, to a 14-month postgraduate diploma in financial services management.
So you're adding solid value.
Solid value. So I know that many of the workers within the financial sector require what we call continuing professional development hours, and so our mandate is to provide those continuing development hours to our stakeholders through continuous training, whether it is through fintech, whether it's through learning more about managing other people's portfolio. We want to make sure that they're staying on top of what is best in class right now where the financial sector is concerned. From governance training for board members, directors who want to serve on board of companies, we offer training in Directors Guide for Corporate Governance training. We offer training in compliance courses, anti-money laundering, data protection, very timely and relevant in the landscape that we're operating now. AI governance, we offer a range of courses that fit the person who works in the financial industry, as well as those who wish to just simply learn more about the stock market. We offer a course called the ABCs of the stock market. If you are a newbie to the stock exchange or to trading, we offer courses for you to come, learn more about it, and we will get you up to speed where that is concerned.
It sounds to me then like you have to do a lot of forward planning in terms of where the market is going, anticipating the needs in crafting those programs.
Which is why a conference like this is relevant, Ricardo, because coming here for me is really a kind of a fact-finding and a research kind of opportunity, because here we are as one of the primary stakeholders, listening to the experts in the field, looking at what is up and coming, what is relevant, what is trending for the future, and then designing training products for the market to operate within.
What's the take-up like for your programs?
So varying levels. One of our most popular courses is our Caribbean Securities course. Popular because, of course, those who wish to work within the financial sector as financial advisors must do this course as a part of their requirement from the FSC. Certainly those who also want to learn more about the stock market, its operations, the ins and outs of the stock market, seem to take this course up very frequently. We also have courses in data protection that is very popular as well at the moment, and certainly our workshops. We have workshops that range from enterprise risk management, the same data protection workshops, workshops in time management. So we do even the soft skills, supervisory management, critical thinking, communications courses, whatever it is that a company may need to train and upskill its staff, we will offer those courses for the company.
Excellent. Sounds like value added to the financial market.
Certainly.
In terms of signing up, how do people sign up for the
All right, so certainly, we are an e-campus, so of course I'm going to give you the first port of call, which is our website. So you can come to our website at www.jseecampus.com, and you can just explore the range of courses and workshops which are available. You can actually speak to a recruiter by just filling out one of our contact forms, and one of our recruiters will reach out to you with additional information. Also, you may email us at jseecampus JSE at jamstockex.com, and we will certainly have one of our able staff members provide you with the information that you need to be on your way to success through training and development.
Do I need to be linked to a company or an entity to sign up, or can I sign up as an individual?
You can sign up as an individual. I'll tell you this much. As much as many of our companies, send their staff members for training, I'll tell you about probably 60% of our stakeholders and participants come from the regular man who looks at our website, who's interested in our courses and really wants to learn more about the stock market and about various compliance issues. So you could be a staff member, you could enroll through your HR departments, trading departments, but certainly if you just want to advance your own capacity and professional development standards, you also will apply as well, or can apply as well.
Excellent stuff. Kevin Powell, the principal of the JSE campus, yeah? I didn't know there was an in-campus, so I've been educated today. Absolutely. We're going to go for a quick break and come back with more from Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. It's the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Soon come.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
A tip for safe and responsible gambling. Avoid chasing losses. Do not keep gambling to try to win back money lost. For information on responsible gambling, call RISE at 888-991-4146. A message from the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
KFC, my mind studying. Right now I'm thinking chicken, famous bowl, chicken box combo and popcorn chicken. KFC on my mind, it's on my brain. Great flavor, great taste like every day. Give me that prize. Follow me for the budget, little bit to your pay.
The KFC value menu always has you thinking chicken. Get the chicken box combo for just $680, or get the famous bowl combo for $620, or popcorn chicken combo for $630. KFC, it's finger licking good.
We can light up your world with the rays of the sun, putting pure energy in the palm of your hand.
For over 20 years, Fosrich has been putting a world of energy in your hands. Now we bring you big savings with our line of solar energy products and LED lighting. Financing now available for all your home and commercial retrofit projects. Consult with our in-house staff or certified professional engineers for all your electrical needs. Fosrich Lifestyle. It's electric. Fosrich, your energy world.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Against all odds, coming soon to Nationwide 90 FM.
Join us as we relive compelling sports stories about the agony of defeat.
I don't blame anyone. As I said, I'm the captain of the Australian team. It's on my watch and I take responsibility.
The jubilation of success.
I've dedicated all my life to being the best and to being the best track and field person I can possibly be. Trying to be a legend, trying to be the greatest, trying to be unstoppable.
And the roller coaster ride that sports carries.
I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart.
Against all odds. Coming soon to Nationwide 90 FM.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, by God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path. Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
As a parent, you give your children a good start in life. You nurture, protect, and guide them. Parenting is a process that prepares your child for independence. As your child grows and develops, there are many things you can do to help your child. Stay tuned to The Big Show, Nationwide This Morning, for parenting tips. Fridays at 6:53 a.m. Only here will you learn everything you need to know about parenting. Tips to help parents navigate the incredibly challenging and rewarding journey of child rearing. Parenting tips on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
What's everyone talking about? It's Front Page in This Morning. Get the issue of the day this and every weekday morning at 7:20 a.m. on Front Page. This Morning. Morning radio the right way. Front Page is brought to you by ABC Electrical for a better choice in the electrical business.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
Everything loud and wicked every Saturday 3 to 5 p.m. with Outside with Pepita. Lone vibes, lone laughs, and lone entertainment. Come on the road with me. Cause when we say Outside with Pepita, we're there all over Jamaica. Anyway, check them out. We're there. We're in on the business. Stay tuned in for prizes, surprises, giveaways, guest artists, and enough more. But hold on there. Don't forget to pick up my DJ. DJ Jerome, the shell boss, I'm gonna make it bust to pew pew with the maddest, baddest, and latest tune. So look out for Outside with Pepita. We might be coming to a town near you. You heard it here first. Outside with Pepita, Saturdays 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. The new revolution in media. Jamaica, lock it in and don't miss a thing.
Public opinion.
Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are a Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a GLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion. The voice of the people at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honey Bee
and Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. What you said?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brain busters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezoneblindates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions. Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
January is Earthquake Awareness Month.
We're having an earthquake.
And Nationwide 90 FM is shaking things up in a powerful way.
Oh, God.
All month long, NNN is rolling out earthquake awareness segments in Nationwide This Morning, Cliffviews Online, E-Zone, and Nationwide at 5. We're turning vital safety information into must-hear radio, debunking myths, and giving you tips from experts that can help to save lives. We are bringing preparedness straight to the people. Yeah, man, I hate that. We're here to inform, educate, and empower Jamaicans to stay ready, stay alert, and stay safe. Because when the ground moves, knowledge matters. Never lose your cool again when an earthquake hits. Tune in to Nationwide This Morning, Cliffviews Online, E-Zone, and Nationwide at 5 to learn, prepare, and protect what matters most.
It's hard-hitting. It's riveting. It's the much-talked-about cover story during Nationwide at 5. Here Cliff Hughes get to the heart of the story of the day. Cover Story aired 5:30 weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Nationwide at 5. Talk radio at its best. Cover Story.
Cover Story is brought to you by JTA Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively.
Multilink, roll with control. Use Multilink, safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Cliff Says is by far the most popular mid-morning radio segment in Jamaica. Cliff Hughes shares his views on the hot-button topics of the day, editorializing on various issues in the news, breaking news stories, and expounding on stories. Cliff Says sets the tone of the show for the rest of the day. Join the award-winning journalist Cliff Hughes weekdays during Cliff Hughes Online at 10 to 10:30 a.m. Join the revolution in media.
None of mercy. This one is very classic, dedicated to all the schoolers who are taking beats.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio. My team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team, Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
It's the weekend and the youth are taking over the airwaves. Yes, we are the new voices and faces of the Talk Up You radio show. The voice of the Jamaican youth right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
After a busy week of work and school, come on wine with Jamaica's #1 youth radio show.
We're bringing you entertainment, fun facts, and staying true to youth development and advocacy.
Catch the action each and every Saturday as we roll out buzzy segments. What say you?
Youth for chat,
life skills,
global connect, and bust the youth.
That's the Talk Up Youth radio show, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth, don't miss it.
4 minutes after 7 in the evening, I'm coming to you live from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew for the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference being put on by the Jamaica Stock Exchange. My name is Ricardo Brooks, and I'm pleased to be joined by Cecil Foster. He's the Managing Director of Fosterich Company Limited. Mr. Foster, good evening.
Good to be here with you.
How are you, sir?
I'm very good.
Good. All right, so I'm told that Fosterich is one of the success stories on the junior market of the JSE, yeah? And how has access to the capital market supported the company's growth and resilience over the years?
I tell you, in 2017, the end of 2017, Fosterich went to the market, and in going to the market, we raised funds for specific purposes. One such purpose is to build out a manufacturing plant, PVC manufacturing plant in the country, because there was no such plant in the country, and we were dealing in PVC products, and it was very difficult to get them into the country and at great prices and so on. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason was to also build out and expand in renewable energy, that is solar renewable energy. I must say, since we have done that, we have seen that this plant has come to fruition.
Yes.
We presently are manufacturing, we are the only manufacturer in Jamaica of PVC products, pipes and conduits and so on. We do approximately 32 different lines of products.
Really?
In the country, yes. We have capacity to do 16.5 million kilograms of raw material each year, and presently, so we can scale and scale fast. That capacity, we could manage the entire needs of the country.
Yes.
Per year. And so what we are saying, the stock market, going to the stock market and accessing the funds, and then going to the bond market and develop relationships that brought more funds to us, is a big part of the reason why we have grown to where we have reached. I am cautioning those who are listening that money alone is not sufficient for growth and development. You first must have a vision as to where you want to go, and you should have a workable plan. And with those two in place, then you can source the funds, and you have to have a determined discipline towards driving to your goal.
Yeah.
So, and then we have moved on into expanding the solar energy business. And so what we have done in the last 6 months of this year, last year, is to carve out a company that is in the company doing the solar business, and that is the MSE, Middlesex Solar Energy Company. And so we have its own management, we have its own directorship, and its own goal of growing to a certain level by satisfying the needs of the company's customers.
Your colleagues who are here, who I've spoken to, they've talked a lot about economic resurgence and resilience. And as I listen to you outlining what you've been able to do with the capital that you've been able to access, it sounds to me that economic recovery, right, and resilience and job creation is a central part of what Fosrich has been able to do because of this funding. Am I right?
Yeah, I think when you look at the number of persons that we have employed since going to the market, it's incredulous, because we had about 84 team members when we went to the market.
Yes.
Today we have 236 persons, and so we have created a
exponential growth in terms of job creation.
Yes, that's a lot of persons we have employed in specific areas. Don't forget also that we were able to develop branches across the country, and these are full service branches. We have 3 branches in Montego Bay. We have one in Fairview, one in Cottage Road, and we have up to last year acquired a hardware called Bayside at St. Cleophas Avenue in Montego Bay. So we are able to meet the needs of the customers who fall in the construction and renewable and so on.
Yeah.
And in Draxhall, we have our newest location in Draxhall, and then we have in Mandeville, and we have in Kingston. These are just 6 business units. We have developed warehouses to support those business units across the country, and also we have our fulfillment center in Kingston, and presently we are finalizing activities to go into our superstore at 76 Mullines Road. And so
expansion sounds like the order of the day.
It is for a reason. Yeah. I remember a company that is now one of the largest company in the world. I remember years ago when he started out in books.
Yes.
That is Amazon.
Yes.
And then he started to do what he's doing now.
Absolutely.
He wasn't making a lot of money.
Right.
And his shareholders people were wondering why they didn't throw him out. And so he was building out a footprint in order to be, to dominate and to launch out further. And
he had that vision.
And a similar playbook that we are using at Fosrich to make sure that we are very close to where the customers are, that we connect with the customers and understand what they want, and therefore we are able to meet their needs. And that's what we're trying to do.
You offered some advice earlier about having a plan. What other advice would you give to growing businesses, Jamaican businesses, that they can learn from Fosrich's journey?
You need persons who are driven to achieve something better than themselves. And when you find those people, then you are able to inspire them, share your vision, inspire them, motivate them, and remunerate them. And that is a part of the success of Fosrich. We have had some super persons who have taken the company, and rightly so, it's theirs now because they have shareholding in the company. Taken the company even before then as theirs. And so you want to have that kind of a team members. And sometimes they just come to you, and sometimes when they come to you, you have to share the vision with them for them to get inspired and be directed.
Keep them motivated.
Discipline, motivation towards driving to your end. I think that's what we look for as one of the other success methods, mechanisms at Fosrich.
Excellent. Your colleagues are going on the inside, so I won't keep you much longer.
No problem.
Cecil Foster is the managing director of Fosrich Company Limited. Undoubtedly a success story. He's here for the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Thank you so much, Foster. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with more.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? GeoLand Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. GeoLand Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Draxall Creative Building Finishes is here. Explore Jamaica's best styles, bathrooms and kitchens in our brand new showroom at Unit 4, 14 Drax Business Center, Draxall Creative Building Finishes. Your beautiful finish begins here.
We know the recovery after Hurricane Melissa hasn't been easy. That's why Flow is here to support our customers every step of the way. Flow has been issuing rebates to customers who experienced service disruptions as part of our commitment to doing right by you. Your bill is created automatically, so you may still receive one as usual. But if you're due a rebate, you'll see it clearly listed as an adjustment on that same bill. We encourage you to take a moment to review your statement to confirm the credited amount. And if your service is still offline because of Hurricane Melissa, rebates will continue until service is restored. Rebates are issued twice per month. If it's not reflected on your current bill, it should appear on the next bill. At Flow, our focus is on fairness, transparency, and making sure our customers feel supported. Thank you for your patience, your loyalty, and your understanding as we work to fully restore service across all affected communities.
Discover opportunities. Build connections that shape your future. Join the Jamaica Stock Exchange for its 21st Regional Investment and Capital Markets Conference, January 20 through 22, 2026, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Come here, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Finance Minister Mrs. Fayval Williams, Mr. Gregory Fisher of Jefferies, Mr. Livingston Morrison of Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Angus Young of NCB Capital Markets, and more notable speakers. Seats are limited. Register now at jscregionalconference.com or call 876-967-3271.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, by God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path. Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
18 minutes after 7, coming to you live from the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference being held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew. I'm Ricardo Brooks, and let us take you to the stage now on the inside for the evening's proceedings.
Those of you who are visiting for the first time, and those of you who have been with us over the last 19 years, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. And if you would just turn to the person next to you and say the same thing. So we're going to spread the love around as we start. Let's get to it. Okay. Good to see you. Yeah. You might want to say you haven't aged a bit. Speaking of good company, just to affirm that statement, in just a while we'll be joined by our Honorable Prime Minister, and there are some other persons. Now I'd like to acknowledge the presence of His Worship, Mayor Andrew Swaby, and of course, Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation is the outfit that he represents. Mr. Stephen Whittingham, Chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Mr. Livingston Morrison, CEO, Jamaica Stock Exchange. Other members of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, JCSD Trustee Services, and JSSE Boards. Mr. Gregory Fisher. Gregory, hi. Gregory is Managing Director and Head of Emerging Markets, Fixed Income and Wealth Management, Jefferies. Heads of the stock exchanges. We also would like to say hello again to Reverend Dexter Johnson, who led us in prayer just now. My media colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and everyone joining us virtually from across the region and around the world. Finally, I'm Michael Anthony Cuff. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, good evening. I was really expecting a more rousing response than that. So let's try that one more time. Good evening. That sounds more like it. Okay. Again, I'd like to thank you for being here with us tonight. This conference has always felt like, to me at least, more than an event. It's more like a homecoming, you know what I mean? It's where conversations continue, ideas are tested, and of course, views are expanded. I mean, mine, my views certainly are every year after I leave. And for 19 years, the Jamaica Stock Exchange has created this space where capital meets confidence and vision turns into growth. This year's theme says it clearly: capital markets fueling economic resurgence and resilience. And somehow it just feels right that we begin with leadership. I mean, after all, let's face it, capital markets don't move forward by chance. And so therefore, they move because someone leads with purpose. Now, our first speaker leads an institution not only with purpose, but an institution that continues to strengthen confidence, support economic recovery, and position Jamaica as a market respected globally. He joins us now to officially welcome us and open our conference. Please join me in welcoming Group Chief Executive Officer, Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Livingston Morrison.
It's always a challenge when you take the podium after such a tall, handsome fellow. Allow me to observe the protocols established by Michael. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Pleasure to welcome you here. Welcome to Conference 2026. On behalf of the board, management, and staff of the JSE Group, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this, the 21st Conference, Regional Investment and Capital Markets Conference. This conference is now a staple on the annual calendar, thanks to our main sponsors, NCB Capital Markets Limited, and of course, Jefferies. Angus, Greg, thank you so very much for your unwavering support. I also extend special thanks and appreciation to our other very important sponsors, who will, of course, be recognized throughout the event. We could not do this without you. Welcome to the public and private sector representatives, members of the financial services sector, members of the diaspora and academic communities. Welcome one and all to Conference 2026. Please allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to reserve a special welcome for a giant among us. I like to think that we all stand on the shoulders of giants, and we are graced with the presence of Dr. Street Forrest today. Welcome, Dr. Street Forrest. Always a pleasure to share space with you. One of the reasons we host this conference during the third week of January each year is to provide a platform for discussion of global, regional, and local issues affecting Jamaica and other countries across the region. Through presentations, discussions, we hope to foster strategic alignment between individuals, organizations, and governments as we explore options for pursuing emerging challenges and opportunities. We remain focused on attaining the main objectives of this conference, which are to create an awareness of the importance of the capital markets to economic development and prosperity throughout the region, to bring together key participants of the financial services industry to discuss and present ideas on issues pertinent to the development of regional economies, to facilitate the development of strategies necessary for the future growth of the sector in the region, to assist in the creation of partnerships and improved understandings that are necessary for unlocking investment opportunities, and of course, to provide a showcase for industry trends, products, and services. This regional forum, ladies and gentlemen, for more than 2 decades, shaped conversations on innovation, resilience, and the future of the Caribbean finance. This year's theme, capital markets fueling economic resurgence and resilience, could not be more apt. We gather at a moment when resilient financial systems is not just a theoretical construct, not distant, but immediate and deeply personal, especially for the Jamaican people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of a defining moment in Jamaica's economic journey. Hurricane Melissa reminded us with painful clarity that our future prosperity will hinge not only on economic growth, but also on resilience. Resilience of the Jamaican people, institutions, the financial system, and of course, resilience of the Jamaican economy. When Melissa swept across Jamaica in late October 2025, the impact extended beyond physical damage. It shook the very core of our economy. Tourism halted, airports closed, businesses were disrupted, and markets reflected the devastating impact. The JSE Combined Index fell by over 7,500 points, or 2.3%, in the week immediately following. And other indices were also similarly affected. But even as Hurricane Melissa tested our economy, it also revealed our strength. Jamaica's recovery will be built on resilience, strategic investment, and the unshakable resolve of our people. I see in this moment not only the cost of the storm, but also the clarity that it brought. The need for continued resilience and investment strategies that prepare Jamaica for future shocks and opportunities. As we gather at this time when resilience is the new global currency, we must consider how the Jamaica Stock Exchange can continue to strengthen its role as one of the nation's most trusted pillars of stability. The JSE has never been merely a platform for buying and selling securities. It has long been the heartbeat of the financial infrastructure, mobilizing capital, fostering entrepreneurship, and providing a transparent and orderly marketplace for investment. The Jamaica Stock Exchange plays a central role in Jamaica's financial system by facilitating the flow of capital from investors to businesses across the country and the region. Across the region, leaders are echoing the same concern. Caribbean nations remain among the most climate vulnerable economies in the world. Regional capital markets hold the power to transform vulnerability into innovation, uncertainty into strategy, and risk into opportunity. The JSE has expanded the tools available for issuers and investors alike through diversification of our product and service offerings, digital acceleration, SME empowerment, contributing to initiatives to deepen the financial system to serve the needs of more and more Jamaicans. We are committed to building on this foundation. Now is the time to strengthen investor confidence. In plain terms, investor confidence depends on economic stability, on the question of whether or not businesses are positioned for growth and profitability on a sustainable basis. In this post-Melissa era, fostering investor confidence is not about recovery, not just about recovery, it's about preparation for future hurricanes. If investors see Jamaica investing in climate resilient infrastructure, using financial tools to manage disaster risk and strengthening institutions in which they invest, they are more likely to believe that this country can withstand future shocks, making the country a safe vehicle for long-term investment. The burning question, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, is this. How can we leverage, how can the Jamaica Stock Exchange leverage our role to support national initiatives to strengthen resilience? I use this opportunity to draw attention to IFRS S1 and IFRS S2, which were issued by the International Sustainability Standards Board in June 2023. We fully appreciate that the responsibility rests with the Institute of Chartered Accountants to determine the timelines for setting and adopting international standards of accounting and auditing in Jamaica. It is in this context that the Jamaica Stock Exchange is prepared to adopt a proactive stance in working with the ICAJ to prepare listed companies for navigating the demands and accessing the opportunities that IFRS S1 and S2 affords. Together, these standards establish a global baseline for sustainability-related financial disclosures. They are designed to be applied together to provide primary users of financial statements with a clear view of how sustainability and climate factors affect a company's financial prospects. Expect us over the next several weeks to be engaging with our stakeholder community to ensure that our listed companies and other stakeholders are fully prepared for future adoption of these standards. As we position ourselves to inspire investor confidence, please be on notice. We will be building awareness about these standards, the implementation challenges, the opportunities for building investor confidence in the future viability and sustainability of listed companies. As I close, let us recognize that Jamaica stands at a crossroads. We can either allow global changes to catch us unprepared, or we can embrace the future with confidence, with clarity, and with conviction. The JSC is committed to building resilience, not only in our systems, but in our leadership. We will continue to innovate. We will continue to engage stakeholders on initiatives to democratize access to capital. We will continue to strengthen market transparency. We are committed to inspiring investor confidence. Most importantly, we will continue to work with stakeholders to give priority attention to reforms and standards that will secure Jamaica's place among the world's dynamic and future-ready markets. Ladies and gentlemen, let us seize this moment together to start this conversation around strengthening the financial ecosystem to not only withstand shocks, but shape the future. Let us work together to build back Jamaica stronger. Again, welcome to the 21st Regional Conference on Investment and Capital Markets. Thank you in advance for making this a phenomenally successful conference.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Mr. Morris. Now, I would just like to join you very quickly in adding my own special hi and welcome to Dr. Street Forest. I absolutely love this lady. She's such an inspiration. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. And since she has such an ageless appearance and all of that, I don't know what got into me, but I said 19 years of celebration. It's actually 21, so hey, you know. We're celebrating 21 years of this conference, and it's such a milestone and a pivotal moment for us. Now, I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome another amazing lady who just graced us in her own silent way. Please help me say hello to our Minister of Finance, Favour Williams. Welcome, Minister. Nice to have you with us. See, you always show up in the right places. I'm also expecting another guest, and as soon as he arrives, I will definitely make the announcement. But until that time, let's just move right ahead. You know, ladies and gentlemen, growth today demands innovation. And technology has become one of the most powerful drivers of regional market expansion. Our next speaker understands that balance. Strong fundamentals paired with forward thinking is what really drives a healthy money market. And before I say hello to him, that special guest I mentioned has arrived. Please help me welcome please help me welcome our Prime Minister, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness. Welcome, PM. Good to see you, sir. As always, good to see you. Happy New Year to you too, sir. Lovely to have you with us. Okay. I tell you, the things I do for this country. I mean, please, thank you. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so as I was saying, our next speaker understands that balance, strong fundamentals paired with forward thinking is one of the most powerful skill set that you can possess. And speaking on leveraging fintech for regional market expansion, I'd like you once again to join me in welcoming Chairman, Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Stephen Whittingham.
Good evening, everyone. Protocol has already been established, but I have to recognize the Prime Minister, Dr. Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and I see Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance, who came into the room while I was also not here. So, just greetings to you all. On behalf of the Board of Directors, it is my
the proceedings at the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. It's being held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew. My name is Ricardo Brooks, and the Finance Minister, the Honorable Favour Williams, just arrived. So too, the Most Honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness. To remind you, he will deliver the keynote address this evening, and his topic is Jamaica Devastation, Relief, Recovery, and Resilience. But for the meantime, I have with me Natasha Marzov. Did I get that right?
Yes, this is correct.
Great. She is the IDB Group's country representative here in Jamaica. That's the Inter-American Development Bank. So let us start by asking, why has the IDB Group decided to support the JSE conference?
Thank you so much for having me with you tonight. We actually have a very long-standing relationship with the Jamaica Stock Exchange. We have been partners for a long time to help the stock exchange develop its institutional capacity, to help them as well with the first green bond issuance. And we are here tonight because we want to show our support for developing capital markets and, of course, for the GSE to continue growing. And this conference is the conference of the year where public and private stakeholders, policymakers, decision makers are coming together to discuss very important topics, particularly as we are now in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
And really, for us, it is important to be here because we think that these discussions are discussions that provide a lot of strategic value to where Jamaica is heading.
You say where Jamaica is headed. So let me ask you, how do you see Jamaica's capital market in terms of its strategic importance?
So Jamaica is actually quite developed in its capital markets. As a matter of fact, I know you are developing your micro stock exchange,
right,
which is quite unique. Capital markets are really important. Capital markets are important because it helps really provide long-term economic growth. Capital markets are important because they help create jobs. Capital markets are very important for the business community because this is where businesses are able to grow and develop. Capital market in Jamaica is very important, particularly as this is a place where individuals and institutions can also place their savings, and it also helps to have a regulated market with strong rules that help people know that when they place their savings, it is with a good return.
Yeah. And the IDB Group, in terms of your investments, how do you ensure that the investments deliver meaningful development, whether it be through job creation, whether it be through inclusion, because I know that's an important thing for you, and a significant part of what we've been hearing tonight, which is resilience. How do you ensure that the investments do that?
So, resilience is very important, especially as, climate change does, suddenly have an impact, particularly in Jamaica. Right. We have seen it. And for us, so the IDB Group, which includes the public sector, the private sector, so IDB Invest and IDB Lab, we have a very strong preparation process where we go through the project itself, the design of the project. On the private sector side, we will obviously look at long-term impact. And we have indicators that we develop in the course of the preparation of the project to ensure that we will have the impact that we envision, whether it is the creation of jobs or having, for example, reduction of CO2 emissions. So we do have a process that is quite stringent and of the highest quality to have those projects delivered.
All right, I may ask you finally, what are you looking forward most about this conference?
I am actually really looking forward to listening to the wonderful speakers that are going to be here this week. Last year, I was absolutely impressed with the caliber of the discussions, and I think particularly as I think Jamaica has done a tremendous job really rebuilding and moving forward. I am truly excited to hear what all the speakers have to say and what will happen next for Jamaica.
Excellent. Natasha Marzoff is the IDB Group country representative here in Jamaica. She's here for the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference being put on by the Jamaica Stock Exchange. We're coming to you from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in St. Andrew. And as I said to you, the Finance Minister is here. So to the Prime Minister, he's delivering the keynote address. His topic, Jamaica, devastation, relief, recovery, and resilience. We're going to take you back to the podium on the inside.
CEO of an international stock exchange, and in wrapping up my discussion with him before he left, I said, "So tell me, what do you think of Jamaica? What's special?" And he says he will never ever forget how effectively our government and our private sectors work together, and how unusual that can be. It is something that we do here as a part of how we operate, but it is not the norm, and we must recognize that this is something that we all in this room must work together to collaborate to keep that vision going. Now that the immediacy of the catastrophe, the immediacy has waned, it's time for the private sector to coordinate with the financial and investment communities to raise and deploy the capital necessary to complement the government expenditure that will come. Beyond building back better with concrete roofs or catastrophe insurance, I contend that the private sector must lead a renaissance. We must build a sustainable Jamaican economy using the agency of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. For the next decade, the government will be preoccupied with the gargantuan task of infrastructure restoration, all while maintaining its prudent debt to GDP targets. And so there will be practically limits on state resources to stimulate these new capital developments. And uncertain international trade conditions will only serve to tighten this phenomenon. Therefore, the projects that we need to grow our GDP will depend on private capital flows, whether local or foreign direct investment. Jamaica cannot afford to return to the near monoculture economies of the past. Domestic expansion is essential. This renaissance, the rebirth of institutions into more efficient forms, must be calibrated through the prism of the stock exchange. This allows us to offer strong returns to investors while giving our citizens the widest possible opportunity to become shareholders in their country's growth. This magic formula, the formula is the formula for national security, social inclusion, and economic prosperity, which will be born out of this crisis. My message, everyone, for 2026 to the capital actors, the capital market actors in this room, some of you have jolted by disaster, but all fueled by a fresh vision, is that you have the power to build the bright future we envision. You have the power to build the bright future we all envision. Be bold. Thank you for being here. I look forward to our discussions and a productive conference. Good evening.
Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you very, very much, Stephen Whittingham. You know, I tell you this. When it comes to innovation and forward thinking, the next speaker embodies all of that and then some on behalf of the organization that he represents. Because, you know, inevitability matters, confidence matters, and safeguarding both is essential to regional growth. Our next speaker leads one of the region's most influential financial institutions and brings deep insight into protecting and strengthening our capital markets. He'll be speaking on safeguarding the region's investability, and I'd like you to join me in welcoming the Chief Executive Officer, NCB Capital Markets, someone you all know very well, Mr. Angus Young.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols observed, but of course, with special mention to Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Minister Fayval Williams, Minister of Finance and Public Service, and of course, the Honorable Orvin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My purpose this evening is to provide a practical overview of two significant issues that influence the investability of our region, specifically the English-speaking Caribbean. These two issues are current geopolitical developments and evolving regulatory environments. So let's start with current-day geopolitics. In the latter half of 2025, the United States initiated a significant military buildup in the Caribbean Sea under the stated purpose of combating drug trafficking. The situation escalated as the US began a series of deadly strikes in September 2025 against vessels alleged to be smuggling narcotics. President Trump characterized these actions as an armed conflict with drug cartels. By November 2025, the force was bolstered by the arrival of the US Gerald Ford Aircraft Carrier Strike Group, creating the largest U.S. military concentration in the region for decades. The scenario intensified in December when the U.S. imposed naval quarantine on oil tankers servicing Venezuela and conducted the first land-based strike on a Venezuelan port facility allegedly used by narcotics traffickers. The climax of the operation occurred on January 3rd, 2026, 17 days ago, when U.S. forces bombed and invaded Venezuela and captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. In the days that followed, President Trump issued stark warnings to Cuba and Colombia. When you look at it, the invasion of Venezuela has several striking similarities with the Bay of Pigs assault in Cuba, 1961, and the U.S. invasion of Grenada, 1983. With respect to the Bay of Pigs, the CIA-led operation aimed to overthrow Fidel Castro's government. The justification was rooted in Cold War politics, with the U.S. viewing Castro's socialist regime and its ties to the Soviet Union as a significant threat to American interests in the Western Hemisphere. With respect to the invasion of Grenada, the primary public justification was the need to protect American medical students on the island following a coup. We could also reflect on the 1989 invasion of Panama, where one of the main stated objectives was to bring Panamanian leader Manuel Noriega to justice on drug trafficking charges. We can also reflect on Nicaragua. Cuba, Grenada, Panama, Nicaragua all share one outcome. Regime change was the ultimate goal. But fast forward to today, and while regime change may still form part of the geopolitical agenda, the dominant underlying driver appears to be energy security. Following Venezuela, attention has now shifted to Greenland. The strategic value of Greenland lies in its geographic position, which is critical for Arctic control, and its vast, largely untapped reservoir of natural resources. The Arctic is increasingly emerging as a new frontier for geopolitical competition and strategic dominance. Of course, Greenland is believed to hold one of the world's largest deposits of rare earth, and of course to possess significant reserves of oil, natural gas, uranium, zinc, and gold assets. Okay. So before I transition the conversation to our region, please keep in mind that the rapid growth of artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency mining has introduced an unprecedented level of new demand on the US power grid. Let us now focus on the region. I tie my synopsis of the current day geopolitical scenario to our agenda because in my mind, for many years, whether it was true or not, there has been a prevailing perception that the Caribbean region was relatively stable and safe when compared to the rest of the world. This stability and peace contributed to its attractiveness where capital investment was concerned. The biggest risk was climate change and weather related. Tonight, I want to share some perspectives that may change this view. Guyana provides a clear example. ExxonMobil is unequivocally the largest oil producer in Guyana. The Guyana opportunity is well documented and has been discussed at previous GSE conferences over the last couple of years. As of September 2025, Guyana's Natural Resource Fund holds a balance of $3.6 billion US. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Guyana story, let me give a brief synopsis. Guyana's oil reserves are large on a global scale. Most of it sits 100 to 120 miles offshore. You can't even see Guyana. To get the oil out of the ground, up through the ocean, onto a ship, there are things called FPSOs, floating production storage offloading vessels, that are very, very large. There are 7 FPSOs destined to service Guyana. 4 are currently in service, 3 are being built. In less than 3 years, with only 4 of the 7 FPSOs, Guyana's Sovereign Wealth Fund has amassed $3.6 billion US. Trinidad and Tobago, moving to Trinidad and Tobago now, do you know that in August 2025, ExxonMobil secured a major deal with Trinidad and Tobago to explore for oil and gas in a vast ultra-deep water block off the country's east coast? This marks the energy giant's significant return to Trinidad after a 2-decade absence. It is worth asking, who is 6 miles away from Trinidad? Enter Venezuela. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the world. As of 2025, estimates place Venezuela's proven oil reserves at approximately 303 billion barrels, which accounts for roughly 17 to 18% of the global total. This positions Venezuela ahead of major oil-rich nations like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Canada. Venezuela, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, 3 countries blessed with significant amounts of oil and gas, all are in very close proximity to each other. Where the invasion of Venezuela is concerned, the divergence from the broader CARICOM perspective stems from Trinidad's geopolitical reality. For most CARICOM nations, the invasion is a concerning regional event. For Trinidad and Tobago, it is an immediate and critical national security crisis unfolding just a few miles from its coast. Trinidad and Tobago's natural gas production reached its peak in 2010. Today, at the Point Lisas Industrial Estate, a number of gas-fed plants have been forced to lie idle or shut down over the years due to a decline in natural gas production and supply. In July 2023, it was reported that 4 plants at Point Lisas had been shut down. That's 4 out of about 7 plants. Trinidad has to access Venezuela's vast Dragon field in order to resuscitate the nation's gas-dependent industries.
The presentation of the Chief Executive Officer for the NCB Capital Markets, and that's Angus Young, outlining the geopolitical situation in the region. But we have to cut you there from Mr. Young, because that's all the time we have for this evening's broadcast of the 21st Regional Industry and Capital Markets Conference. The opening ceremony here at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel is being put on by the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I have some people to thank before we go. Let's say thank you to our technical engineer, Jeremy Compass. Technical operator in studio is Andrew Anderson, our business development executive. She's here on location, actually. Diana Buchanan, videographer this evening, Demar Williams. Our hardworking producer is Dana Davey. Thank you all so much, the entire news and production team. Thank you for making this broadcast possible. If you want to continue watching, they're streaming live on GIS's YouTube channel. For those who want to continue, as I said, you may want to hear the Prime Minister's keynote address he's delivering on the topic Jamaica devastation, relief, recovery, resilience. You can go on over to GIS's YouTube for the rest of the broadcast. My name is Ricardo Brooks. It has been my honor and privilege. Thank you all so much. Good evening.